Real show, here we go. Real show, here we go. You know that it's gotta be that time, so this is what we chant. What keeps on getting them all amped in advance? Come on. You and I rocking out with Iron Man, F.E. You get the general's point of view on top of Roger's rants. Whenever tapping out, we're putting the most minutes in. You already know what that's about, you know that winners win. Crush whatever's on task, check the podcast. It's the Champ and The Tramp, let the bomb blast.
Let's do it.
What's up, everybody? Look at this. I got my mail-in ballot here, people. My mail-in ballot. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Champ and the Tramp. We don't even keep track of episodes anymore, but it's good to have Frankie back in the house. My man was over in Colombia.
It's like birthdays. You don't keep track of birthdays.
Yeah,
anymore.
right. When you get over a certain amount. And I think we're about there. It's like we're in the 40s now.
Birthdays are for kids.
I agree. Totally 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll do like a nice dinner or something like that, but I'm good with that.
Yeah, you say happy birthday to me, but that's all I need. What's
totally.
we got here?
Uh-oh. You eating that mic?
I just went limp on you, bro. I just went limp on you.
So anyway, my man is back. We've been off the air for about a week. Frankie was in Colombia getting some stem cells over there. His lovely wife, Renee, went with him. You were over there with Kamaru Usman, correct?
Yeah, Kamaru
and
was out there.
His wife?
Not his wife. He doesn't have a wife.
Oh, okay.
But his brother was with him for a little bit.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. So anyway, so we want to talk about. I want to talk about that a little bit. Obviously, Frankie's been in the fight game a long time. Has some injuries. The guy, obviously has some epic fights. Has taken some damage over the years. I believe your hands, your shoulder, your neck facets, and groin, was it?
And disc, and hips.
And hips.
Yeah.
So I know it's too early to tell, actually, if you've seen any improvement, but how do you feel like the whole trip went? What was your experience like?
Yeah, the trip was awesome, man. Colombia, I mean, going, I love traveling, right? Seeing other cultures, and we got to go up into the, I don't know if you call them favelas, in Brazil you call them favelas or barrios or but the real poor areas in the mountains. Felt super safe and all that stuff, so I got to see a lot of the culture, eat the food. The Accelerator is the company we went to. Right. They were phenomenal. The way they took care of you was top class, top of the line. Doctors were on point. Everything you would expect it to be. From hearing all the other people and testimonials of people that went there. The hotel is right next to a mall, which is also attached, which the medical center is attached to. So everything's super convenient.
Wow.
But COVID is definitely a bitch out there.
You were saying,
I think we were like the first flights allowed in. I think they weren't allowing any flights in at the time, so we were like some of the first week of flights allowed in. And like we got picked up by an Uber in one of the concierges from the medical facility. And
so they actually have Uber out there, or is it called
Uber?
It's an Uber.
It's an Uber, but
okay.
Uber I think is illegal out there.
Oh wow!
So you have to sit in the front seat. They ask you to sit in the front, so it don't look like an Uber. You know. But yeah, when we get in, these guys he has some spray. I'm like, oh, okay, spray. This dude is spraying me the fuck down. My shirt is getting wet. I'm like, all right, man. He's making me lift my shoes up, spray the bottom of my feet. I'm like, dude, for real? So we get in, we do all that stuff. But yeah, you had to wear masks everywhere. People wearing masks outside, walking around. Yeah, it was pretty intense over there.
Wow. So it was like what? Antibacterial spray you spraying it down with, I guess?
Yeah, it must have been. Fucking.
Maybe you just had some bad BO, bro.
Yeah, it could have been Ajax. And then they put some stuff in my hand, and I'm like putting this. It's not like when you put the alcohol stuff in your hand, it goes in pretty
evaporates quick.
Dude, I'm like, what the fuck? Bro, this guy put soap in my hand? I'm like, bro, it looked like he nut in the fucking bottle, first off. I'm like, what the fuck is in this?
Happy as you've been in a while.
Yeah, and I keep like going, and then I found out it was aloe. It was aloe. So I'm like, all right, aloe's not bad. Aloe's all right.
So, yeah, I mean, obviously I was going to get into that because nobody really knows. People aren't doing a lot of traveling right now, so it's interesting what is going on in other countries, especially countries like Colombia. I would think that they would be less strict and less regulations, but you say more so.
Yeah, no, absolutely more so. I mean, it was very similar to here. I don't want to say it was like super strict, but you're not getting. And no one's spraying you down walking into places.
So essentially,
and no one's making you put that shit on your hands in America. You know what I mean? At least anywhere I've been.
Who's enforcing it? Just the
store owners,
not like police walking around.
Honestly, I didn't see policia very much. I did not really see them often, but people were respecting that shit. People were walking around outside. It's fucking pretty much summertime out there. Yeah. And they all had masks on. No one was really taking it off or anything like that.
Same rules though. When you sit, you can take it off. And
yes,
eat? Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is so silly.
Right. I
of
agree.
course.
All right. Gotcha.
But yeah, even like I had to get a COVID test. Me and Renee had to get COVID tests to go to Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
Then while I was in Colombia, I had to get a COVID test because I have to go into the OR for one of the procedures.
So walk me through that process, and then we'll get into Accelerator. You take the COVID test before you can even book your flight? Or who do you?
No, we booked our flight.
Right. How? Who needs to see proof that you took a COVID test?
Everybody.
Right. I'm saying the airline?
Yeah, the airline.
Okay.
The customs.
Okay.
And the medical facility as well.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I figured the medical facility, but before you can even get out of the States, you have to prove here on this.
I think we did give them our COVID test in Jersey. I think so. I can't remember. I know we gave them in Colombia. Okay. That's Renee's job, bro.
Yeah.
Don't give me the paperwork. I'll lose that shit.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, it sounds like things are somewhat similar to the way they are here, but now walk us through the Accelerator experience, man. That had to be something, huh? It looked like, I saw what you posted. It looked like a very state-of-the-art facility.
Yeah, absolutely. State-of-the-art, top-notch, everything you expect, from an American facility. Yep. I've known about stem cells for quite a while, just hearing about it through, podcasts, and I've had stem cells done to me several times here in the States. But down there, I think they can get a little bit more in-depth, and I think the stem cells are fresher, and they're more alive. That's what I'm getting at. That's why I think
maybe we should make a correction since you've had this experience. You know a lot more about it now, obviously. I think we actually maybe misquoted on this podcast one time and said that in Colombia you can get cloned stem cells.
I believe I was wrong. I mean, I asked them, like, they clone them? They looked at me like, nah, we don't clone nothing here. I just think that they get literally the room that the stem cells are curated or cultivated, or however they do that, is right next door to the room that you're getting them injected into you. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So like they have a window, like a sealed off window. They open it, they put the stem cells, boom, then you get it, and then they put them.
They got a window to a nursery right next to that.
Yeah, right.
It's a bunch of newborn babies
we actually,
over there.
and it's from alive babies. Some people have this. I think this.
Premonition.
Not premonition. Have this idea that stem cells are from aborted babies or dead babies. That's not true.
Right.
These stem cells are from alive babies.
And they're telling you roughly how long to see results?
2 to 6 months. 2 weeks to 6 months. You can start noticing. They said, it depends.
So all the other areas that you had treated, which correct me if I'm wrong, I believe your groin, your shoulder, not your hand, just groin and shoulder before here in the States?
I never had my groin. I didn't get my groin down there.
Okay.
My groin.
No, here in the States prior
I've
to
had groin, sir. In stem cells?
Stem cells.
I had stem cells in my groin and my shoulder before, yeah.
I think I remember you saying, correct me if I'm
and
wrong,
my
but you had them in several areas and you only really saw really good results in one area,
in
right?
My shoulder.
In your shoulder, right? Yeah.
And I think, because they're down there, they're telling me that umbilical cord stem cells are illegal in the States, but I could have sworn that's what I've got. That's what I got in my shoulder a long time ago.
Right.
But this time I got that's what we got down there again as well.
So
I think they're even better. Like listen, when I got it here in the States, my shoulder, it got mailed. It was frozen, got mailed, and then how many long days it took to get there. Yeah. Then they had to thaw it out and they injected me. In that process, so many stem cells could die. Right? So many stem cells could die. Here, it's like they know only 5 to 10% of their stem cells, or 5 to 15% of their stem cells are dead. The rest are alive. That's why I think that's the benefit of going down there.
Yeah, this will be interesting, man. Obviously, anybody interested in doing this, Frankie and I are going to be doing the podcast weekly, so we'll keep you updated on his results. You kind of get a play-by-play live action of how he's healing up and what kind of results he's getting here. So it's a little too early to tell now. You're only a week out, right?
A week, not even really.
Not even,
But they do. They put you in the hyperbaric chamber, which I've never done that before. I know a lot of athletes have to do that. I've never done it. I'm just so, people are like, you're supposed to feel great. I'm like, I just, I don't know, man.
What is that? Super oxygenated?
Super oxygenated,
yeah.
Just watch a movie in there,
And that's after you get the stem cells you do that?
I did it one time before and then one time after.
Now, is this like a one-day thing? You go in and you get all these different areas treated, or you go back several days in a row?
There was a couple days of treatment, know. But I got my neck injections one day, and the next day I got shoulder, both hands, both hips.
Gotcha.
Hands hurt the most, dude.
Really?
Damn. No numbing, no nothing.
Big needle?
No, not the fact it's a big needle. It's just like there's just no meat in your hands, dude. Yeah. He shot it right into my, my joint, my knuckle joint.
Yeah.
Shoulder one didn't hurt that bad at all. Hit one. That was a pretty big needle. They had to get deep on my right side. They had to get deep.
I don't know if you can talk about it or not. What did Usman get treated?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
Injuries,
he's banged
whatever.
up. I'm sure he's got bad knees, stuff like that.
Right. Good dude to hang out with.
Usman's an awesome guy, man. He really is. I've hung out with him on several occasions.
You guys have commentated together, correct?
Never commentated together. No, we just hung out, through Ali and whatnot. Always just a classy dude. But being with him for a little bit longer time, got to know him a little even more. So he's a solid dude, man. Good kid, good dad. Great fighter,
Now I saw when you said you were up in the mountains.
Definitely want to talk about that. My partner, one of my partners, from Iron Army, he goes out to Colombia. He has roots out there. I think maybe he has a girlfriend out there, and he got hooked up with a boxing club that's up in the mountain. When I say up in the mountain, like very top of this mountain, right? And it's in the U.S., right? In the U.S., rich people live in the hills.
Mm-hmm.
Other countries, I think it's opposite, right?
Really?
And because it's very hard to get up there, it's hard to do shit. So
talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, Okay. So anyway, but he said he hooked up this boxing gym. We sponsor him. Iron Army sponsors this boxing gym, and I was out there. He wanted me to bring some stuff to them, and he's like, hey, you could buy groceries for the. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's hook it up, dude. We bought groceries for 28 families, only $400, bro. Crazy,
Wow.
And it was cool. So I asked Usman wanted to go, hey, you want to go up to Boston?
Is that because you get more bang for your buck at the grocery store?
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I asked Kamara, he joined us, and we went up to it's Boxeo para la vida. And
para la vida.
Yeah, and bro, we had to get up this mountain. It was the scariest shit.
Great story, guys. Listen
it
to
was
this.
Scary as fuck, honestly.
Listen to this.
So we're leaving. Now Colombia, it rains once a day, seems like. Once a day, hard as fuck. Where you're like, holy shit, what's that outside, And we're driving, it's pretty clear out. We're getting, to the base of the mountain, I guess. It's pretty much like Medellin is like in a valley, it seems like, And we're going to and when you look around, all the comunas, which is the districts, like District 1 through, I think they said 16. So this was District 3 we're going to. So Comuna 3, we were driving up to, and we're going, and we had a driver. He was bilingual, right? Older guy, probably like say 55, something like that. And he's whipping his car. It's a stick too. We're driving. We're going up these fucking hills. I'm like, holy shit, dude. Next thing we know, we're looking up. It felt like a roller coaster. I'm like, we're going. I feel like you're in here. Click,
dirt
click,
road,
click.
Obviously.
Not dirt road.
Oh,
it was paved, and they had they put like track in the pavement because they know it's people have a hard time getting up this mountain, up these roads, right? And there'll be a big bus coming down as you're coming up, and you gotta fucking back all the way up and find a spot so the bus can go by. Then you go back going. And now there's motorcyclists or mopeds going by you 100 times a second.
Right.
They don't care if you're going or not. They're fucking doing their thing.
Right.
So this guy, I don't know how, he was the best driver I've ever been in my life. He didn't fuck up his car. He didn't fucking kill anybody, and he didn't kill us, most importantly. But then we're driving up and it starts pouring out bad, right? Like bad to the point where just the decline or the angle of these roads, it looked like a river was coming down them. I'm like, dude, so we're going up there. I'm quiet. My palms are sweating. I'm in the back with a photographer and Renee. The guy driving, Kamar's in the front. Car keeps looking back at me and shit. He keeps looking back. I'm like, I'm fucking quiet. I look at Renee, and I'm like, listen, if we got to this point where we were kind of like at this intersection, there's a fucking truck behind us, and there's this incline we got to go up, and it's fucking pouring out. This guy's feathering the emergency brake because it's so, you know what I mean? Because it's a stick. Yeah. He's like feathering with the emergency brake, and he's going, and the tires just. I'm like, and then we're sliding backwards almost into a truck, and he's like slamming on the brake. I'm like, listen, if we got to call this, look, I know we're trying to get up here. I know if we got to call this, we got to call this, or let's wait till the rain stops or something.
Did you not want to be the first guy? You're like looking at Usman to speak up.
Yeah, well, he's like, man, I don't know, bro, I don't know. I definitely was the first to speak up. But Renee tells me that the camera guy that's with us, he was with Accelerator. He's like telling her, "Oh my God, I've never been up this side of the mountain." He was bugging out too, and he was from there. You know what I mean? So this guy, is pretty persistent, man. Because I kept saying, like, listen, let's just wait. And he's like, no, let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. And I'm like, he got us up there. In hindsight, though, I found that it was a 4-wheel drive truck we were driving.
And he was only in 2-wheel drive?
No, but that made me feel a little better. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, no way. And there's no guardrails. Like, literally, if we slid off this road, it's a wrap, bro. No more.
The answer?
No more the answer. No more the Nigerian nightmare. No more the problem. The problem's my wife. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
That's crazy,
man.
Man.
It was an experience. You know, we got
But
all
isn't it experiences like that you'll remember forever?
Absolutely.
I mean, if you went over there and it was just a, Turks and Kinko's vacation, I feel like you don't remember those. You know what I mean?
No, this is definitely something I will never forget. And honestly, going up to this box club, it was humbling, man. I mean, these people live.
I saw what you posted. If you guys haven't seen it, follow. I think most of it's on your regular, not just your stories, right? So follow Frankie. It's interesting. I mean, you guys went up there and basically put on a clinic. You know what I mean?
Well, no, they put a practice on for us, kind of, and we helped out.
Well, I saw you holding pads. I think I saw Kamara holding pads.
Yeah, no, we were helping them with their technique and stuff. For the most thing, we just came to show us,
Any talent? You see any talent?
Yeah, definitely some talent up there. Some young kids. There's kids that were like probably 8 years old.
I thought that was cool. 18, there was boys and girls too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Dude. Literally, it's a fucking open box with concrete floor, no doors.
Oh, it looked like you were outside. It looked like
no,
mud.
I know. Yeah, there was no doors. There was so many people, people that we had to go. We went to like their makeshift like soccer / basketball court.
Gotcha. Okay.
Dude, this is poor. It's about as poor as you can get.
Really?
You know, I don't think there's running water in some of these buildings.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's sad.
Most of the kids,
but the people like the kids like they didn't. You couldn't tell, like, you know what I mean. They were fucking happy as hell to be there, man. Really were.
It's all about perspective, man.
Yeah.
We say it all the time, and unfortunately, I definitely lose sight of that occasionally. And when you have an experience like that, you realize that perspective is everything. But do most of the kids, you say they live in the mountains and in the hills, most of those kids are like walking distance from that gym?
I don't know, but I would imagine.
I mean, you're not going from the valley and walking up.
Yeah,
to
I would imagine they're all in that communa.
I gotcha.
3.
Any inkling of like what schooling is like over there?
No. I mean, like, it was supposed to, the language barrier. I speak just un pequeño español. You know what I mean? And like I was the best speaker in my family, so that's that's just goes to show you. Me and Renee were screwed out there.
Yeah.
But we made do. But yeah, it's hard to communicate with the kids, in that aspect. But it's something I definitely like to go back and do. Honestly, kind of like. It felt good leaving there. We could give, we donate, through Iron Army. I think we buy them shirts or going there and just like, we were fucking handing money to kids. Little, there's like 3 little girls Renee was talking with the whole time. Renee was giving her some of her like, fake jewelry and stuff. You just feel good doing that stuff, and it's really, I don't know how much help you're doing in that little time, but even if it's a little bit, it makes a big, at least makes you feel good.
For sure. Yeah, it's those little things that get you by till
so that's why we were even inquiring with Iron Army about doing starting a nonprofit or something. I think it'd be cool.
Cool.
And maybe not even just do it in Colombia. Like, hey, let's travel to wherever and go help poor people everywhere. Why not make that a thing?
So, it sounds like you're in a relatively, maybe not. When you're down in the valley, is that more affluent?
I mean, yeah, I guess you'd say yes.
I guess my question was going to be, does Accelerator, are a lot of athletes come in from outside the region to get these treatments?
I've seen a bunch.
Is it a local thing that is?
No, I think people are coming. Yeah,
people are coming in. Okay.
Now, I believe Accelerator also has an office in Arizona.
Okay.
And I know a lot of places that have a facility overseas. They usually have something in the States as well.
Gotcha.
So they have a medical facility in Arizona that does some things as well. Right. But obviously Colombia is where you do most. But like, I mean, you follow. I don't know. Cejudo went there. The Patricky Pitbull brothers. Kurt Angle, Chuck Liddell.
Tyson's a big proponent of it.
I think Mike Tyson.
Did he go to Colombia?
I don't know if he went to there.
I know he's a big proponent of it.
Yeah, I don't know if he went there, but yeah, it's cutting edge stuff. It's new age stuff, and I don't know, man. I'm trying to stay in the game. And it's not even like I'm trying to stay in the game. I just want to. I'm pretty fucking banged up, dude.
I respect that and admire about you, man. Eddie was saying when he was in here last week, he was saying you were always down for trying new shit. And I think to stay on top of your game and be, still be as physically active as you are at your age, not calling you an old guy or whatever, I think any edge you can get is an advantage.
I'm not one to take steroids. This is definitely not.
Neither am I.
Yeah. Steroids, like Eddie were talking about last week. It's like, you're looking yourself in the mirror. You didn't get it done.
Right.
I could never do that.
Right.
I'm just trying to make my shoulder feel normal. My hip feel normal.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah, no, totally, man. Yeah, for sure. So anyway, we'll be keeping you guys all posted out there on, updated on Frankie's progress. Let's talk about this weekend. We got two of your boys are fighting this weekend.
Yeah, Marlon's fighting Cody Sanhagen.
Yep.
Not Corey
Sanhagen.
And Marlon and Edson is fighting. I can't pronounce the guy's name, but
Corey's really tall, is he not?
he is. I think he's like 5'11".
Yeah.
Yep.
And Marlon's obviously not. But I wonder what the game plan is there. I mean,
Marlon's probably chop his legs down. I feel like
Yeah.
Marlon's going to be a lot stronger than him. I don't think this guy Corey's good. Don't get me wrong.
I saw a fight.
I don't think he's very strong, physically strong.
Right. I'll tell you that he's tough though. I saw a fight with him, and I forget who he fought. I don't think it was a huge name guy, which is probably why I can't remember it. But he was in the deepest arm.
Alcantara, right?
Yes, yeah. He was in the deepest arm bar I think I've ever seen in my life, and didn't tap, and he held it for. I mean, I felt like he held it for a minute, and he fought out of it and came back and won that fight. The kid's tough, so not that Marlon isn't, but it's just an interesting matchup because he's such a tall, lanky guy, and Marlon's more compact and solid.
Yeah. Oh, Edson's the co-main against Makwan Amir Khani.
Not that familiar with that guy. I think I've seen one or two.
He's tough, bro. Yeah. He's definitely tough. It's not an easy fight, And Edson's, I think, on a little bit of a skid right now.
Yep.
He's kind of some close fights that could have went his way, but didn't.
Always an exciting fight, though. I always tune in to watch Edson, bro. Just the way he gets down, bro, is so.
He's fast. His switch kicks are vicious. His spinning heel kicks are vicious.
Spinning heel kicks are.
I always say, like, yo, you're a weapon. You're like a walking weapon.
He really is, man.
He has so many different tools to hurt you. Ben Rothwell versus Marcin Tybura. Ben Rothwell. You know who Ben Rothwell is?
Ben Rothwell. Didn't I see no, I know who he is, but I'm pretty sure we had Nicky Rod in, and obviously Gordon what's Gordon's last name?
Ryan.
Didn't Gordon Ryan or Nicky, one of them, didn't they grapple him? And they beat him. I'm pretty sure it was him. Ben Rothwell.
Josh Barnett, maybe?
Yes, you're right. It was Josh Barnett. I'm sorry. You're right. Yep, 100%. You're right.
Yeah, no, it's all right. Mark Perez versus Dirkus Duplessis. Dirkus Duplessis.
Dirkus?
He's got he doesn't have a pitcher, so he must be a newbie.
Listen, I'm watching strictly for Marlon and Edson. I mean, you can't go wrong with those two. They bring it every time. They're both weapons.
Yeah.
They
So
really
you don't
are.
want to know the rest? So you don't want to talk about?
No, go ahead. Any big names?
No.
Did you watch the Holly Holm fight?
I did. I watched most of it. I was coming home that night. I was literally in the car watching.
I watched the highlights. I didn't watch it either, but
I watched most of it. Yeah.
Yeah, just total
Stud.
clinic. Yeah.
Honestly, I fucking love how Holly comes.
I love Holly.
And she comes into. She's all business.
Yep.
She's going to be prepared. She's going to be in great shape.
Yep.
And it's just no BS. Nothing. She's in there to fucking.
I
She
love
always.
her. I love
She
her.
puts her heart and soul into it, man.
Sure.
And that's what I love. That's what I love about it.
Yep, absolutely.
So, what do you think, Marlon and my man, this guy Corey?
Bro, I'm picking Marlon. You know that.
I'm
Not just
not
because
saying
I.
pick
not-
him. How do you think it's going to go?
Oh, I think you pretty much laid it out. I think he's going to definitely chop him down at the legs.
Yeah.
Marlon's got to get inside, which shouldn't be a problem for Marlon, and I'm sure Marlon's going to dump him on his head a few times. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah. This guy's got crafty jiu-jitsu too, don't know?
Yeah.
Well, I think Marlon's going to be a lot stronger than him now.
I do too.
And that's what you've seen, I think, when Aljo fought him.
Right.
Aljo once got a hold, and Aljo's got pretty good back control, and really good back control and good jiu-jitsu as well.
That was just a perfectly timed knee. Perfectly timed.
Wait, what?
When Aljamain Sterling fought Marlon?
No, so I'm talking about Aljamain and Corey.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
well, Aljamain also fought.
I know, but what I was saying, I was talking about how his jiu-jitsu and how
Okay.
he used his strength. I think he was a lot stronger than Corey, and I think that's where Marlon could. But Marlon, you just got to show up, and I think he gets it done.
Yeah, I obviously of the two fighters, Marlon has got a better pedigree. has fought bigger name guys. And
yeah, this guy's good too, man.
He is good.
Some good guys, you know.
Listen, I watched the
Can't
fight.
sleep on him.
I don't know, this week at some point I was watching some highlights of his fights, and he is a tough kid, man. He's not going to go out without a fight. He definitely had one of the deepest arm bars I've ever seen and did not tap on it. So
let's see, he beat. How do I do this? I don't know. He's 12-2 though.
what's Marlon's record?
23-6-1.
What's your record?
Honestly, I don't know. Look it up.
Just in the UFC alone, you have how many fights?
27, I think.
Jesus. It's crazy.
I only had 5 fights out of the UFC. You know.
Yeah, true.
I pretty much was raised in the UFC.
Yeah. Facts. Yep. Edson versus
this guy, Man Kwan.
Yeah. What do you know about that guy?
I don't know, man. He's good. You know, he's not bad. He's definitely. What's his record? Let's see. His record is 16-4. I'm trying to hit this shit. It's not working.
Got to connect to that extended Wi-Fi, pal.
No, I did. It's this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Edson needs a win. I think he's on a 5-fight skid or 5 or 6 or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
I know he lost to Gaethje.
Yeah, I knew Gaethje. Obviously, he
Gaethje
lost to Khabib.
I think that was even before that, though.
Well, it was 5 fights ago, bro. It could be.
No.
He's fought more than that since Khabib?
Mm-hmm. He lost to Gaethje. He lost to Dan Hooker.
Oh, Hooker, right?
He lost to Paul Felder. He lost to Dan Ige. Dan Ige. I mean, they're all those 3 fights were fucking close, except the Gaethje one. Yep. So I mean, he's definitely frustrated right now, I think.
Yeah.
And you know, shit. I've been on both sides of it. So.
But I think they keep him because the fans love him. He's an exciting fighter.
If he wants to stay, maybe
yeah.
he might want to go somewhere else. Who knows?
Right.
Well, I don't know if he signed a new contract. I don't know what his deal is. But yeah, he's always fun to watch.
Marlon's only got 1 loss in the UFC, right?
1 in the
first fight,
2 in the
right?
UFC.
Oh, is it 2?
Yeah, first fight, and then he lost to Cejudo.
Oh, right. I forgot about Cejudo. That's right. Yep, of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you got your vote, your ballot in today in the mail?
Got my ballot, man, and I was just educated by your lovely wife, Renee. I got that thing, and I was literally going to throw it over my shoulder and go vote in person because I believe that's the correct way to do it, and I want to show up at the polls and vote, and you can't. So you can if you're...
I mean, I hated this. Well, it doesn't matter now because you're not going you're going to vote in person, but the polls are not something you can put your mouth on, okay?
It did say your area may only have 1 polling station, and usually around Tom's River there's a ton of them. So
yeah, well, I always like the Elks Club. I think
mine has always been you're gonna get a kick out of this. The senior center.
Yeah. Oh, and on Garfield.
Garfield. Yeah, that's always been mine. Actually, when I lived on the other side of town, it was the school on Route 9. I forget the name of the school over there. Right across. Sitta.
Yeah.
Sitta. Yeah.
Right.
So I voted there, and I voted at the senior center. But I was going to show up at the senior center this time, which you still can, but you still use the same ballot.
You were just worried they were going to let you leave. Like, hey, sir, sir.
Come take your Metamucil. Yeah. So I guess
on the back of the ballot, you have to vote. There's one question that
talk to the people
that I'm asking you.
I'm going to vote yes.
To vote yes.
I'm going to vote yes.
Okay, good.
Talk to the people that don't know.
No, I think it's for recreational marijuana.
Yeah,
I think it's fair.
Right, but what? So for people that don't know, including me, because I'm not really, I don't smoke marijuana, but I have no issue with it. I think it should totally be legal. Right now in New Jersey, there is medical marijuana places where you can get a medical card, go buy. I think there's like 5 or 6 dispensaries, correct?
Yeah,
so what is this? If
this will be recreational.
Recreational.
Yeah,
so they'll be.
And they're also going to expunge all the people that are in jail for selling weed.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Does it matter if you sold 12 pounds?
Should it matter? If it's legal, it's legal. Why would that matter?
Well, I guess Uncle Sam's point of view is you're not paying tax on it and you're making an incredible amount of money.
I mean,
so
if you have to pay the money back and all that,
right.
I can see that. But why would you have to go to jail for it? If it's legal, it's legal, right?
I agree. But
if you have to go pay back taxes to make it a legal thing, then I'm down with it.
Here's why. Because if I can get out of jail tomorrow, I'll go get 27 pounds of weed tonight and go make a hell of a profit tomorrow and get out of jail.
No, but I just said though, if you have to pay the back, I think you should.
But I think you said
to
that
make it legal.
You said that in response to me saying that is where Uncle Sam would have an issue with it. Right.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you that I think weed is. It's nobody's ever died from weed ever. So I think,
dude,
it's totally
honestly, I mean, I just keep hearing like it helps against coronavirus. It helps against inflammation.
You think,
like, bro, they sell fucking weed, right? And now it's not weed you smoke,
right?
But they sell CBD at fucking Exxon.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So at Wawa.
You think Trump was at Walter Reed?
He was at Walter Weed.
Walter Weed.
He's at Walter Weed smoking weed.
Walter Weed smoking weed. Do you think he ever has in his life?
No.
No.
I don't think he's drank ever.
Yeah, it's true.
Right?
He's a businessman. That's what he says. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I don't have any reason to doubt him, but I'm sure all the pictures. He's probably got to be one of the most photographed men of all time. I don't think I've ever seen a drink in his hand. So
no.
You know.
Yeah.
He's got to be telling the truth, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you think he's on something? Anything?
I
heard there was a
don't know,
rumor he's
man.
on some diet pills.
Listen, dude, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. I can't figure it out for the life of me. But he's got a plan. He just definitely has there's a strategy behind this.
Behind what?
Behind him.
The orangeness?
No. Behind him, and I'm not saying that he infected himself. I'm not going down those rabbit holes. But there's a strategy behind
the
positive test. Him going to Walter Reed, him talking about how it was.
I feel better than I did 20 years ago.
I mean, there's a strategy there for sure. But think about it. He's 72 years old. He's overweight. He's a little overweight for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably got high.
He's a prime candidate for the most at risk, which is still an insanely low number.
I mean, the most prime candidate has it as well.
Who?
Christie, bro. He got it
too.
He
did?
Yeah.
Oh, because he's so overweight, right?
He is, man.
I haven't seen him in years in public.
He's been helping. He was helping.
I heard he was helping Trump. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
The debate.
Is he still? I mean, obviously he must be still extremely overweight, I guess.
He looks. You know, he had lap band surgery. And,
I know, man.
He ate through the lap band surgery.
I know, dude. I know. I had a friend that did that. A friend of mine back in Maine got that early on when it was.
And did it work?
It did. He lost a ton of weight.
And then he gained it back?
Gained it back, yeah.
You can't like drink soda or anything because it hurt. It makes that.
But I have a friend locally that just did a different surgery where you can't expand your stomach. It's a new one. I forget what it's called. He called me the other day and was telling me all about it, but he lost an incredible amount of weight. It's almost unrecognizable because he loses so much weight. And in a weird way, I would never tell him this because, he's so proud of losing the weight and he thinks, I thought he looked better. It just looked to me.
You never tell him that. You just told fucking.
No, he doesn't know who I'm talking about. He doesn't listen.
He doesn't know you're talking about. How many fucking friends you have fucking lap band surgery?
A number. I thought he looked better as a bigger guy. He just looked healthier. His skin is like sagging now. You know what I mean? So he's got like big bags under his eyes and.
Well, actually, some guy, right? He was fucking. I don't know how heavy, like 400, maybe 800, something crazy. 400, 800, something fucking very, very obese. And he went on a doctor-assisted fast for like over a year.
Yep.
Didn't eat anything for over a year. He's so fat.
Yep.
Had vitamins and hydration through IV, I guess, through a medical staff. But this dude lost all that weight and the skin.
Oh, and the skin.
They said his body ate the skin protein too.
That's rare.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Well, no, because when you
usually you have to exercise like a mother to get that skin.
Yeah, but that skin doesn't even that doesn't do it. That doesn't do it.
Yeah.
I guess that's the way to do it.
Wow.
Just by fasting.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it could be. Skin has a certain amount of elasticity, but if you're 800 pounds and you go down to 170 pounds, how can it possibly be that elastic?
I don't know. Again, I don't know if it was 800 or whatever, 400, but still, the fact that I guess your body eats it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's eating the fat, why can't it eat the skin? I don't know.
Well, skin has many layers to it, so it's not going to. So you're talking about, I don't know, fat has layers and skin has layers.
Okay.
So it's not going to eat your exterior skin. Was it your endo?
But it did. Yeah, for this guy,
right.
it did.
Right.
He didn't have the everybody, the classical person that loses a crazy amount
of weight. You would think that would be the most popular thing to do now. It's just got to be a lot harder.
Hard work. Who fucking do that? Right. Who could not eat and maybe this guy, like I said, was I think he was medically helped. I'm sure how many people can't do that.
Let me give this girl a shout out.
Oh, is this another one of your friends that had lap band surgery?
No.
What the fuck?
I think this is her. Yep. She's local. I believe she's Tom's River. I shouted her out once on she reached out to me. Really nice girl. Mom, wife, animal lover. In 1 year's time, here, I'll show you a picture of her. From November of 2018 to October of 2020. Her name is, I don't think she cares if I shout her out, Jen Henney on Instagram. She's very public about it, so I don't think she minds at all. But take a look at that. I think it's only like 130 pounds. Well, only. But you were talking about like 400 pounds. Look at that. And she's Tom's River.
Wow. That's very
That's
impressive.
exercise. That's not lab bands. That's just exercise and healthy eating.
That looks great. She looks amazing.
Right.
And probably keep it off, too, that way.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. That's fucking damn, dude. Looks honestly doesn't look like the same person.
She's a TR girl.
I mean, not for nothing, bro. I think her eyes are different colors.
She looks totally different, right?
She
That
does,
looks like two
yeah.
different human beings.
Yeah.
But I talked to her briefly. I think she did it. She's got kids. She wants to live a healthier life. Wants to live longer, and
I mean, I've just even
November to October, not even a full year, bro. Look at the difference,
dude. That's night and day,
insane.
Bro. Hell yeah.
No lap bands, no nothing. So, I gave her a shout out, gave her mad props. I mean, that's hard work, right?
Yeah,
there,
for sure. And you probably, like I said, and you're learning, like that's what, like, like my parents. Oh, I'm going on a diet. Like you can't. It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle.
Right,
you can't.
That's facts. Yep.
Like even now, like I'm not training really because I gotta take time for the stem cells and whatnot. So I gotta take some time off, which I'm not good at doing.
You feel shittier?
I just feel shittier. But I'm trying to eat right, at least do something. I've hit in the sauna, but I gotta do something, man. I was going fucking nuts.
What is it on a? I don't want to say in a fight camp. Fight camp is typically what, 6-8 weeks?
8 weeks.
I don't want to say fight camp, but on not doing what you're doing now, which is recovery, essentially, on a normal day, when you stay in shape, obviously you're one of the most active guys, even when you don't have an upcoming fight. What is a normal day for you? What do you do for training?
Yeah, honestly.
Do you get up? Where do you go?
I kind of just do my fight camp training. I just put a little less intense.
Okay.
So if I usually do jiu-jitsu on Monday, Fridays, I'll be at Monday or Friday morning, I'll be at jiu-jitsu. Okay. Maybe I won't go as hard, and maybe on Monday at strength and conditioning, or Friday I'll take off, or I won't go as hard, during like in between fights training.
Okay.
But I like to train, dude. I like to train. Like I train twice a day sometimes when I don't have a fight, just because I like to,
And when you're training for a fight,
I don't miss.
But for specific guys.
Right.
You'll bring guys in. Most fighters bring guys in
sometimes,
that mimic the style of the guy you're fighting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But when you have enough guys on your team that can always play his guy's style or fight a certain way.
Jersey's got a good resume with guys now for sure.
Especially we have guys coming in now, especially Cody, Lance.
Right.
We got the Russians are always coming in. Timur is a beat. All those guys.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting, though, for people that don't, even for me, it's interesting to know what an average day in the life of Frankie Edgar is. You know what I mean?
If I don't work, like I said, I haven't worked out because of this shit. And if I don't work out in the morning, especially, like I feel off.
Yep.
I do. I feel fucking just off, man.
Makes sense.
I did like 40 minutes in the sauna this afternoon. That made me feel a little better.
So it's hard for you to relax.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure.
Always been like that, though? Has it just been your little on the hyper side, little on
yeah. That's why I hate this phone, because like when I'm bored and don't have nothing to do, I put my face in the phone and I'm like, I'll go by like fucking hour. I'm an hour on the fucking phone. That disappoints me.
Yep. No, I listen, and I'm.
Did you watch Social Dilemma?
No. Yes, I did watch Social Dilemma. I didn't watch the murder one because I couldn't. I'm so familiar with that story because I watched the shit out of it on YouTube, but because I have kids, I could not see the interaction with him. Chris Watts, we're talking about. It's a brand new documentary out, and that story it'll suck you in. It's the most horrific story ever, but I could not watch the interaction.
He definitely did it and all that stuff?
No fucking question, bro. But he's stone-faced. Even when the cops are talking to him, with a neighbor who... So neighbor didn't actually see him take a body out, but on his neighbor's security, and he's stone-faced, bro.
What's crazy?
Stone-faced. It's the no history of violence, and he's just no tears, he's just stone-faced, bro. We murdered his whole fucking family.
He murdered the wife too?
Murdered the wife and the kids, buried the wife in the desert, and he worked in like these oil fields, I guess, in the desert, climbed up on,
He worked, that's where he worked?
60-foot tanks of oil and I can't even say it, bro. It's so fucking sickening.
And dropped his kids?
His 2 daughters. beautiful little girls. And as soon I started to watch it, I was like, oh, this is so interesting because I know all about it. As soon as I saw him interacting with his girls, I teared up and turned it off. I could not fucking watch it. I could not watch it.
Wow. And that all the footage was from their footage, right? In that documentary. And that's
what I saw, most of the footage, and it's told she was very into social media and she was very open and talked about her relationship, not in a negative way.
Right.
About meeting Chris and this and that. I mean, her close insider friends knew that they were having troubles, but she was very open. So it's sort of like pulled from her or whatever social media page she had.
And what year was this?
Oh, this is only like, I'm going to say a year or two ago, maybe
What?
2 years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They owned a beautiful home.
Like, what is this guy alive right now?
Oh, he's going to die soon in prison. They're going to
think
kill.
so?
Yeah. I'm sure he's in solitary. I'm sure he's locked down for like 23 hours a day. But
And what is he had? Nothing to say. There's no like in the documentary.
I only saw him cry one time when his dad came in the interview room and he was caught. And he knew he was caught. He had a little breakdown, but up to that point, bro, he was stone faced, saying, I don't know what happened. I don't know where they are. I've tried calling. He was even fake texting as well, like really texting the phone, like, where are you? What's wrong? And I don't know how you could be that stone faced.
Now, how do they know it was him?
They have him on camera. They tracked him on his work cell phone. They have him on camera carrying something out on the neighbor's camera to the truck, which they think was the daughter's bodies. I know this not from watching the documentary because I couldn't. I know this from watching news stories about it and things as such. But just such a normal, if that's a word, normal guy with a normal job, normal family, normal wife. Usually you have some prior history of, I don't know, you grew up fucking killing animals and fucking dissect, or you have a history of violence. This guy had nothing.
What about Chris Benoit?
But Chris Benoit killed himself, and they think it almost makes a little sense. Right? They think he had CTE, and that's why. Oh no, he hung himself, right? Chris Benoit.
He killed his wife and kids, though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But they think he had a sort of, from his career, had traumatic brain injury. Mm-hmm. This guy didn't have traumatic brain injury, Yeah. And I don't even know that is true or proven with Chris Benoit. But you're right. The story is similar. He hung himself. Oh, he actually hung himself. Oh no, the story with Chris Benoit is he killed his family, and then he went to, I think it was a meeting with a doctor where he took a picture with a fan. There's a picture of Chris Benoit with a fan after he murdered his family, smiling, and then he went home and hung himself from his weight bench, like the cable on his weight bench. I think I have that accurate. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How about you ever see a little bit off, in Tom's River? I was in college, and Natalie Gingerelli. No. Her grandfather just lost his shit. He was an ex-cop.
Oh, I know this story.
Killed like the neighbor.
The neighbor.
Yeah.
I was friends with the neighbor, Chris.
Yeah.
Chris, I was friendly with him.
He killed his granddaughter.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. They say, they say the story with that guy. I remember this story. He was a cop, and I believe he was on duty as a cop. He backed his cop car up or something like that and backed over a little kid, I think. That's the old man, and they say he was fucking fucked up in the head ever since that happened. And it was like 20, 30 years prior. It was accidental, and then he just lost his fucking shit, shot the kid that I know, Chris, which was his neighbor, shot his daughter in the front yard. Chris came over to see what was wrong. He chased Chris into his backyard, capped him, and then I think
he killed Chris's daughter?
No, Chris.
Okay.
Yeah. He killed Chris. Chris was his next door neighbor.
Wow.
Chris saw him kill his granddaughter and went over, and then he chased Chris and killed Chris. And Chris was a brick shit house too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, sad.
Yeah.
Did he have
Chris
kids
used to call me Tantastic. I remember that.
Yeah.
What's up, Tantastic? Because I was fucking tan. I used to go tanning back in the day.
Where, just you know this guy from the gym?
Nah, I knew him through. Do you know Brian Howe? Chris Howe, Brian Howe. He was friends with them. He dated the Howe's sister. Yeah, so
wow.
I knew the Howe family, and he was over there.
Where was that? Where in Tom's River was that?
I believe it was
over
over
here, right?
Yeah, it was on the ocean or the bay side of Fisher Boulevard over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. I knew that story. Yeah, that was sad. He just lost his mind. Yeah, had an argument with his daughter or something, and just fucking went off the deep end. But they say it was. They think that his brain was fucked up from that accident.
How did he get killed by cops? Cops kill him?
I know. I think they got him, and I think he probably died in jail. I think.
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah. It's crazy, man. Crazy. I hear stories all the time that fucking blow my mind, you know?
Yeah. I dealing with some stuff as well, you know.
You are?
No, well, through
Friends, people
fans
you
and
know.
family, yeah.
Yeah.
Having to call cops on people and stuff. Yeah, it's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, I'll talk about it later, I guess.
Sorry to hear that, man. Yeah. I got a little drama.
For their own safety of themselves, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I hope all that works out. I hope everybody's well and cooler heads prevail. And I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know that was going on, man.
Yeah, no, it's just added to the.
I remember. I don't know if you remember this, but I remember you had a fight, and this is eons ago. Couldn't tell you who you fought, but in your post-fight, you said something to the effect. I could be wrong, but I got a friend that's really going through some shit right now, and I want to dedicate this one to him. I think you said. Mm-hmm. Talk about that at all, or is that?
It was a friend. Yeah, that was the Hermes Franca fight.
Hermes Franca, yeah.
2008. Yeah, a friend was dealing with, the normal shit that kids deal with around here.
Okay.
And I was he was one of the first close friends, I guess, that was having that issue.
Okay.
So I want to give him a little shout of support, and he's actually
right?
since made
good.
all right. Yeah,
good.
Good.
We should talk about that. Hermes Franca, man. I mean, that guy, I remember Hermes. The guy had a lot of hype behind him. He was doing really well. You fought him, obviously beat him. And then he had some crazy charges come up, right?
Yeah.
Where's he from? Brazil?
Brazil.
Talk about that. You know the story better than I do.
I just know he was messing with underage girls, from what I hear.
Here or there?
Here.
Right.
There, I think that's why. Right. There, I hear it does. A 15-year-old girl, it doesn't matter if they're 15. Mm-hmm. That's what I hear at least. Mm-hmm. And here it does matter if you're 15. Yeah, I think that's what happened.
He actually did some time, right?
I believe so. If he probably did some time, then probably got
deported. Yeah.
I imagine.
No more fighting after that? You ever hear his name after that?
I did. I was in, where was I? I was in Russia. I was in Chechnya with Habib, actually, watching fights, and he fought on that card.
Oh, shit.
It had to be 2014, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh. He lost the fight.
No shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He didn't look too prepared.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Little tubby?
Yeah, he's looked like he's in it for the paycheck at that point.
Yeah. Huh. What are fights like over there compared to here, Russia?
Well, I went to a UFC in St. Petersburg. That felt pretty normal.
Yeah.
This fight was in Chechnya. I think there was only men in the crowd.
Okay.
It was like,
because women aren't allowed, or
I believe so. I don't know. I don't really know. Right. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe because women aren't allowed.
Right.
Or maybe they just not part of their custom or something.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, it was pretty lopsided fights. It looked like Russian guys versus people not from Russia.
Right.
And they were getting fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man. You never know what people are going through at any given time, And I've lost a number of friends of myself to drugs and suicide.
Yeah.
And most people you don't know are going through shit. You know what I mean?
No.
When they're going through it,
you don't.
It's a pride thing with men, at least most of the time. And male suicide far exceeds women committing suicide. But
they say too, because women will go and seek the help. Men won't.
Correct.
Right?
That's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Pride thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've got a phone that I've had the same phone number for 20 years. And I think I've got at least 12 deceased friends in there. And a number of those are people who committed suicide.
Yeah.
So
and that's sad.
Yeah.
I don't one of Renee's friends, this is happened a while ago, 12 years ago. She was married to some dude. I guess things were good, and or maybe a little not so good, a little shaky, but nothing crazy, She leaves him. He has the 1-year-old kid in the crib. Yeah. He went into the garage, fucking hung himself.
Oh, I know. Yeah, was that Jesse's friend?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Anyway,
he's a Manchester kid.
I don't know. Jesse talks about a kid that has a very similar story to that often, but yeah, I could tell you a bunch of those stories. The one that sticks out in my head, I won't say any names. You may be familiar with the story, but I wasn't even here at the time. But apparently there was a husband wife who were very into athletics. I think their son was an athlete. Football, it rings a bell. They were always at all the games and very, very into it. And they ended up, I guess, having a fight one night, and the dad shot the mom and then killed himself. So then you had the daughter and the son. I got to be friends with the daughter because she dated my good friend for a year or two at least. Got to be good friends with her. And my friend called me one day and showed up at her house, and she had hung herself in the closet. So the father shot the mother, then killed himself, and left the son and the daughter. And then years later, I'm talking, I don't know, 15 years later maybe, something, I'm ballparking it, she hung herself.
Wow.
Yeah. And he found her. Yeah.
The brother found her?
No.
Oh.
My friend found her.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Damn.
So, yeah. Sad, man. That's sad.
Yeah.
You know, very sad.
I wonder, damn.
Yeah.
You wonder, is it something genetic though?
I don't know. I think that could absolutely play a part in it. You know, I do. You know, I think depression can get to anybody. I don't think there's a person that it can't affect. And I'm not saying everybody becomes suicidal, but people can be tremendously affected. But obviously, some people just can't process stress like other people can. I'm bad. I admit it. Stress eats at me, man.
Yeah, for sure. But sometimes maybe the fact that sometimes stress doesn't eat at people, and all of a sudden, boom, that's it.
Well, Chris Watts, man, the story that we're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, is that what happened to him?
Right.
I know that they were having marital issues, and a divorce was imminent, I guess, if I remember the story correctly.
But like, yo, why would I don't see the thought process. Like,
no,
what can be that bad?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I just don't. What can be that bad? To kill yourself, maybe.
Right.
But I'm saying to kill your fucking wife and
Right.
kids. Wife. No, but you're like, I don't. Right. What? Nothing could be that bad.
As a guy who's struggled with depression at certain, really only one time in my life, I can get how somebody could kill themselves. I can get it. I can't. But yeah,
you
just want it to end, bro. You just want it fucking to end.
I guess I
can't get
someone killing their kids.
How you fucking kill your kids,
or
even your wife. How do you hate somebody that bad? I can't. Or your ex-wife, rather. I don't get that.
On.
I don't get that.
You can think of it a little bit.
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't.
I mean, I can take a choke. I'm not joking. I'm joking.
No, but I could get how you can't deal with it and you want out, and the only way you can fathom, so hard to explain. And even me looking back on it, I'm like, how do you think like that? And it's the only time in my life I've ever. It's not like I have a history of this or anything.
To me, like I try to.
Like I just like. There's no way this is gonna fucking end unless I end it. You just think like that. You know what I mean?
You're the ultimate quitter, right? Never be a quitter, right? You're always told never be a quitter. That's the ultimate quitter.
No question.
You know?
No question.
So.
No question. And if you're biblical at all, which I don't know that I'd say biblical. If you're religious at all, which I am, I'm not. You go to hell.
You know? Biblical about you is your age, buddy.
Yeah. You know. So
you go to hell. Yeah, I would think you would. I would think you would, if that was the case.
Yeah.
Because it is. You're the ultimate quitter, right?
Yeah,
you know?
For sure. And you've done nothing but a disservice to your children for the rest of their lives. They're going to have, as that story that I just told you, it's going to have profound and significant effects on your children and haunt them for the rest of their life. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
did she have kids?
No.
No.
Nope. It's such a crazy story. Just days before that happened, she went and got a huge back piece tattoo. I saw her at the tattoo place. And
really?
It's like, yeah, just days before. It's like,
really?
Yeah.
The one, like, when did she figure this out? When did she say she was going to do that?
I think it just
was she like, fuck
you.
it, I'm gonna.
Nope. I don't think the thought process is like that at all.
You don't think people think about it for a while before they do it?
Rory sat in here just a few weeks, maybe a month or two before he took his own life.
But again,
I don't think he was sitting in here thinking. I truly believe social distancing and COVID and all that played a factor in that. I totally do. He was a guy that needed to be around people. He needed to be social. Yeah. He needed to tell his story. He couldn't. Mm-hmm. And I think he had just texted me a few days before, and I responded. I was talking to him. How's things, bud? You need anything? Anything I can help you with? Such a good guy. And did you? He came in here and he talked about depression and how he overcame it, and how it was sort of in his rearview mirror, and a month or two later he takes his own life. It's mind blowing.
Yeah, no, I know.
Mind blowing. Yeah.
But I would think like, yo, if you're okay. Even him, I don't know, maybe if he thought about it before that or not. But like the guy I know that hung himself, like he had to think like, when am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I got my kid. Oh, my wife left. And now's the time. You know what I mean? Like, that had to go through his head.
Yeah.
I guess this is the time. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? How many times before that where he's like, this is the time, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Right?
I did. When I was at my worst, this is the honest God truth, I had all those antidepressants, right? And the easiest thing for me to do, and I put them in my mouth one time, to be honest with you, was they were right next to my bed. That's the easiest thing to do. You swallow them, and then you kind of probably just fall asleep, and you just pass away.
How many were in there? How many?
Oh, bro, I had some high-powered shit, and I had bottles of them. You know what I mean? Bottles. I forget what the main one I was on, but I had Xanax and Ambien and the bottle of the powerful stuff that didn't kick in for, I think it was like a month or two. So you took the other ones to get you by until this long-term one kicked in. And I was only on them for like 4 months, and I realized they weren't doing anything for me, and I quit them cold turkey. And I literally, this is a funny story. You're not supposed to. Back to my original thing. I thought my mind processed, like, how do I want to do this? Where do I want to do it? I was going to drive to Maine and go to where I grew up on that lake, in Maine, and do it there. That's. I was like, I want to be by myself in the middle of the woods, near where I grew up, and do it there. And I certainly don't think that way anymore. And it's important to say that's the only time in my life I ever thought like that. But where was I going to go? I was going to transition to something else you just said. What was the point you just made?
Like, what makes you think you can do it, not do it? You're saying, here's the time to do it.
No, that's the original point. Anyway, whatever. I don't know how to put it in words that people can understand unless you've dealt with severe depression before. Your mind doesn't think like that when you're normal. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. You don't think they're totally irrational thoughts that you would never think when you're not in the bowels and the depths of depression. You know what I mean?
So I never had them sustained long enough. I might have fucking something flashed through my head, but never were I'm gonna fucking follow through and make a plan.
My best friend, right? A lot of people say he committed suicide. I don't think he did. My best friend, Bobby, who I know you've met Bobby, 2007, right? So him and his brother Johnny, who I was good friends with, they were very close. Johnny, they lived together. They lived right behind me. We bought our houses 2 weeks apart, right behind each other, and put a gate in so we could walk. I mean, I walked to his house. He walked behind my house every day. We were back and forth. We put a gate in between our two houses. I mean, we were just the best of friends. His brother moved to North Carolina and had maybe a year after he lived down there, had a horrible car accident in which he was killed, his girlfriend was killed, and his best friend was killed. It was horrific. It was a horrific accident, really bad. They hydroplaned, got broadsided by a car, and they all went out one window. It was horrible. It was horrific. Yeah. Bobby was never the same after that. Bobby was a gym rat, loved working out, loved the gym, loved that healthy lifestyle, wouldn't touch a drug, wouldn't even drink. Well, after Johnny died, I should say prior to Johnny dying, he started doing a little drinking, started going out, had some issues with his fiancée, and things were already on a little bit of a rocky road. But then Johnny died. It was like the fucking bottom fell out, right? Yeah. The fucking bottom just fell out of his life. And him and I were having a little bit of issues at the time over a girl. I felt like he did me a little wrong, and I felt like the girl even did me more wrong. And so I just kind of stopped speaking to him. And he was when him and his fiancée split, he was just acting totally different. He was being really reckless. He got into a huge fight with my friends at a bar, your friends, Wuzza and Nick. That huge fight happened. He felt like he got snuck, and it was like a war. And my friends, and he wanted me to be on his side. And I was just like, man, I'm not in this. I'm not involved in this. You guys are acting reckless. You're being crazy. Anyway, things just kept going downhill. And then he was dating another girl, and he was like stalking her a little bit, and downhill. He just couldn't deal with Johnny's death. So we'd had a little distance. We weren't really, well, this is a story. This is about depression, people. I don't want to be morbid, but I think this is important. I was in the shower one day by myself. I was home alone, and I hear somebody outside of my shower door, crying. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like fucking,
like in your bathroom?
In my house, but outside, I heard.
Outside the bathroom door.
Outside the bathroom door, in the hallway of my house. Yeah. And I heard someone crying, it sounded like a baby crying. So I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So I get out, put a towel on me, open the door, and Bobby's curled up in like a fetal. This big fucking jack, 250-pound monster that will kill anybody, right? Is like in the fetal position crying. This is after Johnny had passed and after the girl issue that we had. And I said, what are you doing, man? We weren't really speaking. I was like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you all right? Like, what's... And he just got up and hugged me. And just fucking hugged me. It was weird, right? Two big gym dudes fucking... It was weird. But, we kind of agreed to put things behind us and move on. Very shortly after that, very, very shortly after that, This is a story as I know it, and it could not be 100% accurate, but I feel like from talking to everybody I've talked to, I feel like this is how it happened. Bobby never did drugs. Drugs were the Antichrist. But for such a big, tough guy that could kick the shit out of anybody, he didn't like needles. He didn't like getting tattooed. So the night that he passed, he got a tattoo at his house, right behind my house, of Whoops on his back, which is his brother's nickname, Johnny Whoops, they called him. Mm-hmm. So he got Whoops tattooed across his back. And again, this is a story as I know it. It may not be 100% accurate, but I feel like from all the players that were there and everybody I talked to, which was his girlfriend, his cousin, his other cousin, I have it pretty accurate. He took an Oxycontin to lessen the pain when he got tattooed, and then him and his girlfriend went to bed, and the story she says is he took another one or a half or whatever. Well, she left at some point in the night, and Bobby never woke up. It stops your breathing. It slows your heart down.
Bro, for one of them? Two of them? I don't know, bro.
That's the story. I don't know either, but that's the story I'm told. Now, this is a guy that never did that shit either.
Well, maybe.
But his cousin went to wake him up in the morning, and he had foam coming out of his mouth, and he was completely blue. They couldn't resuscitate him. He was gone. You know what I mean? So,
but then didn't they do an autopsy? Can't an autopsy tell you how much? Like,
I wouldn't have been privy to that, but yeah, I'm sure they did. But again, I told the story as I know the story. Right. It could be wrong, but I can tell you this: Bobby was no druggie. He was not. You know, I mean, he was when he passed. That was 2007. We were roughly the same age. So, what is that? 14 years ago. He would have been just over 30 probably, and he was the epitome of health. He was just jacked, brick shit house, gym rat, like, you know what I mean? And
so what do you think it was then?
I think a guy that was never reckless just didn't care anymore. He just became completely reckless with how he lived his life in every facet of it, and took a bad combo of shit and expired. I don't think he committed suicide.
Yeah, I think it was on purpose.
No.
They ruled it a suicide?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. But there are people that say he committed suicide. I don't think he did.
Why would he get the tattoo, all that, right?
Correct, right. So he's missed. I just went and visited his grave about a year ago. Oh, I know the story I was going to tell. Here you go. Here's the story. We were talking about, I couldn't remember the story. We were talking about antidepressants and depression and depression medicine. This is going back. I think this was June of the first year Danielle and I started dating, so this would have been June of, what is it, 2020? This would have been June of 2018. We befriended a girl who had horrible cancer. I don't know if you remember that story, and didn't have long to live. She was only 18 years old. Her name was Caitlin. Beautiful girl. Such an inspiring person. But she lived in North Carolina, and she was a big Jersey Shore fan, and I had met her once, and she was supposed to come back a few weeks later. We were going to do like a dinner, and she was just such a I don't know. She had so much energy and so much positive energy. You could not love her. You know what I mean? And she was only 18, and she was diagnosed with this horrible terminal cancer. She wasn't going to live, and her mom said she couldn't come back. So Danielle and I just decided we're going to drive down there on the weekend. We're going to go surprise her, right? And I wasn't dating Danielle long at all. She must have been like, what are we doing driving to North Carolina? I've only been dating this guy a couple months to see some girl we don't even really know. And you know, but that was the month or the week that I came off antidepressants. And this is embarrassing, but it's a good story. Bro, I cried the whole fucking ride down there. I literally, a sad song would come on and I just start fucking crying. It's because you're not supposed to cold turkey that shit. You're not supposed to come off. You're supposed to wean yourself off, especially the heavy meds. And I was like 4 or 5 months into it, and I just fucking cold turkeyed it. And Danielle's like, what the fuck are you crying? You keep crying on this ride down there. And then I went to see Bobby's grave because he's buried in North Carolina. And I'm fucking bawling at that. She's like, you know you cried that entire trip? I'm like, I know. Wow. But I did. I literally bawled the whole trip.
Like, what set it off? What would set off the cry?
Talking stories. We
talk and you start crying?
We had a 14-hour ride down there. Yeah. It was 14 hours. And then we went out of the way to go see Bobby's grave because
that brought up some shit.
Right. So I would talk about Bobby like I'm doing with you. Yeah. Same interaction right now. And I just couldn't hold it together. I just start crying. And I know she was cool and she didn't make a big deal, but I know she had to be like, holy fucking shit, this dude's fucking lunatic. You know what I mean? So yeah.
No, but a song would set you off?
Anything. Everything was sad. Everything. Because I remember thinking, normally I don't deal with like emotions like this. And when I told my doctor that I came off, he's like, you didn't come off cold turkey, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, bro, you're not supposed to do that. You got to come off that shit like slow. It'll mess with your emotions. I was like, yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, it's fucking sobbing.
Yeah, I was tampon commercial would come on the radio. That's
great.
It's crazy, bro. But
yeah, learn.
She still talks about it. She's like, you fucking cried that whole ride down and the whole ride back.
I guess that breaks the ice, early.
Yeah. But then on the way back, I kept thinking about her and her situation. I probably would never see her again, which I didn't.
Yeah.
She passed just a few months after that, and it's just sad. 18-year-old girl that had everything to live for and every reason to live, and just her whole circumstance and where she was and what she wanted to be. And I remember she wanted to be, more than anything, she wanted to be a makeup artist, and we bought her a ton of Mac makeup's expensive. We bought a ton and brought it down to her, and they were just so appreciative, and it's just sad. It was just sad, man. I mean, it would have been sad anyway, but that's the weekend I decided to come off depression medicine, so it was like,
double whammy.
Yeah, and I went to visit my best friend's grave, and I fucking cried that whole weekend, bro. Crazy. I'm here with a new girl I'm dating in a hotel in North Carolina. Probably should be doing horrible sexual shit, and I'm curled up in the fetal position. Just hold me.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so... Anyway, brother, just Frank and I this week. We didn't have a guest for today, mostly because we really wanted to discuss Frankie's experience in Colombia and what is it?
Bioaccelerator.
Bioaccelerator. We're gonna be keeping updated on that. Like I said, I know I keep saying over and over, but as weeks progress, we'll do a little progress report. Anybody that's interested in doing this, you'll have the most firsthand information you could possibly get right here on Champ and The Tramp. So
sure, give you the play-by-play.
Absolutely, brother.
All right, man. Good times, brother.
Another good one. Champ and The Tramp. Share, like, subscribe, guys. Give us a follow. Thank you.